Will the market go up or down? Should you lock in or float? Find out this and more with Master of the Markets, hosted by Barry Habib of MBS Highway. Brought to you by Planet Home Lending. Secured by private equity, Planet Home Lending might just be the largest wholesale lender you've never heard of. Our competitive pricing opens the door, but we know it's our knowledgeable and accessible account executives who will make Planet Home Lending your first and last look on every loan.
Welcome to Master of the Markets. I'm Barry Habib at MBS Highway. This is created exclusively for Mortgage News Network and brought to you by our friends at Planet Home Lending. Their wholesale prices are really out of this world. So last week we did get some really favorable news. I'm optimistic on the direction of mortgage rates right now. You heard me talk about some important ceilings last week in the 10-year Treasury, some important floors in mortgage bonds. Both of those successfully held, probably helped a little bit by our good friend Janet Yellen, who came out during her testimony last week and was really very dovish, had a dovish tone, a favorable tone on bonds, saying, look, we're going to probably come up with some more rate hikes, not as high as you might think. We're going to keep rates lower than what you're estimating. Bond market loved that. She was very gentle on her approach as far as maybe saying we're not really looking at another rate hike in the imminent future, maybe get one in by the end of the year. They are going to start that quantitative tightening, which is when we'll see that runoff of mortgage bonds and treasuries on her balance sheet. She did say that they're going to leave money on the balance sheet more than before the financial crisis, but none of it will be mortgage bonds. Just tells us that sometime in the future, keep in the back of your mind that there'll be a bit of a disconnect between mortgage-backed securities and the 10-year Treasury, but that's a discussion for another day. Now, we did get some inflation data, and the bond market loved it. Inflation was much lower than expectations. If you take a look at the headline number on the Consumer Price Index, just back in February, it was 2.7%. 2.7 has gone down just since then to 1.6%. So big drop. A lot of that has to do with lower energy prices, but there's something going on here. We're seeing rents, though, pretty stubborn at 4% per year increase. Keep that in mind. Explain that to your customers. Take out a calculator. Just take 4% and compound it on whatever they're paying in rent over time. Now at MBS Highway, we've got these amazing buy versus rent, as well as so many other tools to help you articulate the financial opportunity, and even breaks down forecasted and historical appreciation in every MSA around the country. You should check it out. Anyway, when we take a look at these things, we can see that inflation is something that is lower, and inflation's always the enemy of mortgage bonds, or any bond for that matter. See, when you hold a bond, you receive a fixed payment, the same payment over time. So what happens is that the higher the level of inflation, the greater the erosion on that payment, meaning that when you receive a payment as a bondholder, if things start to cost more because of inflation, the money you're receiving just doesn't go as far. The higher the rate of inflation, the more rapid the erosion, so that bond isn't worth as much. So if inflation's dropping or very low, it sustains the buying power, meaning it keeps the value or adds value to the bond, and that's why we're seeing prices improve, yields decline. Now, because prices improve, because yields decline, we've seen some really interesting things happen. We're seeing something called the golden cross. What does that mean? It means that the 50-day moving average has crossed above the 200-day moving average, and that is typically a very good thing when you see that type of a move. It indicates that there's some good pricing in the future, and because on a technical basis, computers are programmed that way, you'll probably see some additional buying. Now, the inversion of that has happened in the yield market, in the 10-year Treasury yield. We've seen the crossover the other way, called the death cross, and because of that, it's anticipated that yields will drop, and computers are programmed to think that way now. So we should see an improvement in pricing in mortgage bonds, a drop in yields. How far? I think the next stop could be 2.18 on the 10-year. Maybe we see 2.10 again. Well, we'll talk about it after that. All right. See you guys next week. Some good news in rates. Housing remains super strong. It's a great report this week. I think you should get the word out to your customers. And listen, please, get on MBS Highway. Are you kidding me? It's very affordable. It'll help you be better. And don't you want to be the best resource you can be? Don't you owe that to your realtors? Don't you owe that to your customers? Don't you owe it to your family to be more successful and make more money? Pretty simple. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Feel the difference of what a decentralized operation makes. With account executives in your backyard and in your office, not hidden in a call center, we know what you and your borrower desires based on your market, and will be in your office helping you through every step of the way. Those are just a few of the differences our clients see every day with Planet Home Lending Wholesale.
This is Mortgage News Network.